Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Happy Thursday for the webinar today. We have the webinar, The Value of Money Skill, Free Financial Education for Your Classroom. And I have with me Olivia DiBiase. So Olivia, take it over.
Great. And Bethel, you can see my screen, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. And hello, everyone. And thank you again, Bethel, for the introduction. My name is Olivia DiBiase, and I'm the Director of Financial Education and Outreach at the AFSA Education Foundation. And I'm going to be sharing with you all today a bit about our organization and free personal finance teaching resources that we offer educators. In particular, I'll be talking about our free MoneySKILL personal finance course, how it's designed, how you can utilize it with your learners. I'm going to be sharing a couple of brief video clips, and then I will also walk you through a demonstration of how to set up your free MoneySKILL instructor account and show you some of the features of the course platform. And I will leave plenty of time at the end for Q&A, and I'll leave my contact information up at the end as well if you want to reach out to me later. But to start things off, I'll share a little bit about the AFSA Education Foundation. We're a small nonprofit organization based in Washington, D.C., and our mission is to educate consumers of all ages on personal finance concepts and help them realize the benefits of responsible money management. And so for the past over 30 years, we've been dedicated to providing educators all kinds with resources and training to support the delivery of personal finance education. And we do some of that virtually like today, but we do also present and exhibit sometimes in person at a variety of different educator conferences. And in addition to free education resources and teacher training, we also offer a free online personal finance course called MoneySKILL. And that's really what I'm going to be sharing more about with you today. And hopefully my presentation provides you all with some helpful free resources for your teaching needs, especially as we're gearing up for a new school year, or maybe some of you have already started. So before I talk more about MoneySKILL and the program, I just wanted to share kind of a few relevant figures that I think really help put into perspective the importance of financial education. And I think is really a big part of what drives our organization to continue doing what we do. So the first thing I have here on this slide is the FINRA Investor Education Foundation. They do a survey of US adults every 3 years called their National Financial Capability Study. And it sheds some light on where adults stand when it comes to financial knowledge, behaviors, and preparedness. And in their most recent survey, which I think may not come as a huge surprise if you listen to the news at all, but it shows that 47% of those surveyed lack a rainy day or emergency fund to cover unexpected expenses. Only 59% of those with credit cards reported paying their balance in full every month, and over 19% reported spending more than their income. And this isn't the only survey out there on Americans' financial knowledge and capability, but I think what is clear is that many Americans struggle when it comes to understanding personal finance basics and making sound financial decisions. And, certainly financial education isn't the only solution to these challenges. There are a lot of factors at play, but research does show that financial education can provide, that solid foundation and prepare people to make the best possible financial choices throughout their lives. So to that point, earlier this year, GFLEC, the Global Financial Literacy Education Council, and the TIAA Institute, they released their 2024 Personal Finance Index report. They do one each year. And this year, it highlighted just how important financial literacy is and how individuals with lower financial literacy levels are more than 4 times more likely to lack 1 month of living expenses and emergency savings. They're 2 times more likely to be debt constrained. They're over 3 times more likely to be not at all confident about having enough money to live comfortably through retirement. So, the AFSA Education Foundation, we are very aware of the financial challenges that so many Americans face and how important financial education can be. And, while things are improving, there are still many states where students are not required to complete personal finance coursework in order to graduate from high school. And as a result, they're entering adulthood with limited financial knowledge. And I'm sure you all as adult educators are seeing that with many of your students. So in particular for today, I want to share more with you all about our MoneySKILL personal finance course. And before I get into it, I'm just going to play a short animated video. It's just a quick couple minutes, and it'll give you a brief introduction to MoneySKILL and what it's all about, and then I'll go into a little more detail.
At the AFSA Education Foundation, our goal is simple: to brighten the financial horizon of everyone who enrolls in our MoneySKILL personal finance course. MoneySKILL is a free, completely web-based curriculum designed to empower learners with the tools they need to make confident financial decisions, no matter what their journey looks like. MoneySKILL is also customizable and available in English and Spanish, allowing educators to tailor content to their unique learners. MoneySKILL supports instructors in teaching the foundational money management skills that youth and adults can carry with them for the rest of their lives. We want you to take advantage of this great resource. That's why we offer it free to educators, parents, nonprofits, and any organization interested in providing financial education. Give your learners the tools they need to succeed. Visit moneyskill.org today and sign up as a new instructor to access the curriculum.
So that was just a quick overview of MoneySKILL, and I'll go into a little more detail with you, but it's our flagship program. It was developed all the way back in 2002 as one of the first personal finance courses available online. We've kept it up to date and made big changes to it throughout the years to make sure it stays kind of a relevant, applicable resource to students. But it is available completely for free. There's no ads or additional costs once you sign up. I find sometimes I have to say that a few times just to remind people it really is available for free. We fundraise throughout the year to ensure that we can continue to provide this program free of charge to educators. And that really includes educators in the broadest sense of the term. So that can be teachers, professors, parents, nonprofits, really any organization or individual that's looking to teach personal finance content. The course itself consists of 37 modules or topic areas. It's available in English and Spanish, and it focuses on different personal finance and money management concepts, including everything from the basics like savings, budgeting, money management, accessing credit, but it also includes more in-depth subjects like investing, protecting yourself against identity theft, planning for retirement. And each module focuses on a specific set of learning objectives and includes custom video content, real life examples. There are 10 quiz questions interspersed throughout each module, and instructors have access to classroom management tools to track their students' progress and grades and see how their class is doing. So the course, it's really designed to be customizable. So as a teacher, you can build your own class and decide what content and how much of it you want to include. So especially for those of you who are working with adult students who may be coming in at different levels, you can pick and choose what content areas are going to be most applicable for the students that you're working with. The curriculum aligns with national and most state personal finance standards, and we work with a subject matter expert to update the content regularly to make sure that it remains relevant and it has not only the latest figures and statistics, but it's interesting and applicable to the students who are using the course. And more recently, we actually worked with a group out of the University of Illinois to make significant updates to the curriculum to ensure, again, not only is the content up to date, but it's culturally responsive and it's reflective of a variety of life experiences. And so those updates were published last summer, but we really do focus on keeping the course relevant and regularly enhancing the platform and the curriculum itself. As far as who uses MoneySKILL, the courses are very adaptable to an array of learning levels and ages. The content is designed primarily for high school and adult learners, and educators, like I said earlier, can really customize the MoneySkill course content to meet the education level or needs of their students. And teachers can use MoneySkill because of the way it's designed as a web-based class. Teachers can use it as a core resource for a dedicated personal finance class, or it can be incorporated into a variety of different classes. So I hear often from teachers of different vocational studies that are using MoneySkill as a resource to help prepare their students for the financial realities of a particular career. And it's a flexible resource in that way. So you can kind of fit it in where you can if you're not teaching, say, a dedicated personal finance class, or you can build in all the content into a much longer term personal finance course if you want to. And just to give some perspective on how many people are using MoneySkill, we've had over 1.4 million teachers and students from all 50 states and some internationally enroll in MoneySkill since its inception. And in 2023, we had over 56,000 new users signing up for MoneySkill, which is encouraging for us after all these years to kind of be able to continue to see that kind of activity and interest in the curriculum. So I also want to highlight some of the unique benefits of MoneySkill. The course is all web-based, and it really is designed to be user-friendly. Once a MoneySkill course is set up by a teacher, which I'll show you a little bit more on that later, students can go through the course in a self-directed manner. There's no specialized teacher training required to administer the course. So you don't have to be a personal finance expert yourself to set it up. MoneySkill is designed to be a plug and play program. Teachers of all experience levels can use it. I generally like to say it's pretty user friendly. We are also available to schedule if you need a one-on-one demo or you need additional support figuring out how to set up the class. We are also available to provide that support. Because the course is available entirely online, it's really well suited for virtual or remote learning, but it can also be utilized in a classroom as well. So you can do the work together with students, working as a group, or if students have laptop or tablet access, they can do the work in a classroom. Platform is browser-based, so there's no apps or downloads required. It's mobile friendly, there's no advertisements, and we don't require you to enter any sensitive data about students. We really have aimed for this to be as accessible as possible for any teachers who might be using it. I will note too, for those of you who are interested in this kind of thing, we have done program evaluations looking at the impact of MoneySkill on student outcomes. And most recently, the evaluation that we did showed on average students are obtaining a 65% growth in knowledge when comparing their pre and post-test MoneySkill exams. We also see behavioral improvements as well at the high school level, which is really encouraging. So if anybody's interested in checking out the evaluation results, we have the full report and infographic available on our website. But it's helpful for us to be able to see that MoneySkill is making a difference not only in the knowledge gains, but also behavioral gains as well. So that kind of wraps up my overview of the MoneySkill curriculum. And I'm going to move on to a demo here in just a minute. But I wanted to share a brief video again of an interview with a professor named Tim Mahoney. He's from the University of Southern Indiana, and he's been using MoneySkill course with his students for many years now. I think he's enrolled over 1,000 students at this point, and I think this is particularly relevant to this audience and really highlights why teachers and students find the course so valuable.
We were very fortunate in finding MoneySkill. So we started in 2010, the spring of 2010. We had one student to start with, and since that time we've had over 2,700 students that have taken the course. MoneySkill is good for everybody. It's available in English and it's also available in Spanish. It could be good for a person that's a freshman in high school. It could be good for a person that's a senior in college. Well, the credit card is one of them. Identity theft is another one. That's an issue that people are encountering. The idea of vehicles, the idea, do you buy it, if your car's going to break down, what do you do with a broken down car? Do you fix that car, or do you buy something? Do you buy a used car? Do you buy a expensive car? That's a big decision. I would say that this is time well spent for the student. It's a benefit for them because the students become interested in something, they become engaged in the course. You could start a discussion on just about any topic just like this.
So hopefully that video gives you some perspective on a particular experience with MoneySKILL. I'm going to transition now to doing a demonstration of how you can sign up for a MoneySKILL instructor account and give you a sense of what the platform looks like, how it works. So I have here on the screen our homepage. As I mentioned earlier, we do make MoneySKILL available for free to all educators. And to get started, we do ask that folks sign up by filling out a brief registration form, which can be accessed from our homepage at appsaef.org. MoneySKILL.org will also get you to the same place. I have also put a QR code up here. I'll leave it on the screen for a couple of slides. If you're using your phone, if that's easier, if you're watching this later, that'll also get you to the registration page. But I would encourage you, if you feel like doing it right now, you can go ahead and take out your phones, you can go on another browser and register, and you'll be able to kind of follow along after the end of this webinar. But on the next screen is an example of the registration form. It's pretty brief and straightforward. And this is primarily a way for us to do some quality control and make sure that the folks who are signing up are actual educators in some form. Once your registration is approved, if you use a QR code, the approval will happen automatically, but you'll receive login instructions and you can immediately log in and begin creating your own customized MoneySKILL course from there. So I'm not going to go through every single feature, but I'm going to try and hit on the main ones today. So I do want to give you a sense, especially of kind of how customizable MoneySKILL is for instructors, and also give you some insight into what the platform looks like for students. I'll also share kind of one more brief video of what kind of the videos that the students are seeing when you're going through MoneySKILL. But I mentioned once you register and your registration gets approved, you get your login credentials. Once you log in, this is the screen that you're going to see in your main dashboard. And as you start creating classes, this big gray space in here will fill up with tiles showing all of the classes that you have. But essentially, you can get started creating a class right away. When you log in, you can click this Create Class button. We do have a step-by-step guide that we make available. It's called our Instructor Handbook. But I will say that many users find the class setup process to be pretty intuitive. So once you click on the Create Class button, you can start setting up your class and customizing different aspects of it. So you can set the language to either English or Spanish. You can set up automatic retakes for students who don't reach certain quiz score thresholds. That's what that module retake percent is. Essentially, say you want to make sure all of your students in your class get a 50% grade, and if they don't, they have to go back through and retake the module. You can set that up automatically. You can also customize the availability dates of the class and what modules are included in what order. There are lots of ways that you as a teacher can customize MoneySKILL for your needs. So yes, this is the list of modules here as well. You can disable certain modules, you can reorder them. And once you establish all of those settings, you can always go back in and change them if you need to, but it saves your progress as you go. And kind of once you have your MoneySKILL class set as you want it, you can begin then adding students to your class. The student adding process, if you have just a couple of students, you can manually add them into your class by entering their name, a username, and a password for them. These are fields you can input any information. So you can use a student ID, you can use initials, you can use some set of username, password, ID information that you want here. It doesn't have to be like their full name. We actually don't recommend that in general. If you have a whole roster of students that you want to add to a class, there is in the upper right-hand corner an import students feature. So you can import whole rosters of students into a class. So you don't have to manually, do it. And as you add students to your class, you'll see them show up here under the student listing. And in the future, you'll be able to, you can edit any of their information. You can manage the retakes if you want them to retake a module. You can manage that manually. You can check their grades. You can print completion certificates, transfer them to another class, or you can delete a student if you need to. But that is kind of the student setup page. And once you set up a student and add a student to your MoneySKILL class, once you share their login with them, they can, I'll actually go back here. They can go back to our home page and click on this login button to log in and start going through the course. So it's a pretty quick process to get a class created, add a student, and then they can go ahead and start going through the course that you've created. Once you set up a class and enroll students and they start to go through your MoneySKILL course, you can track their progress in the online gradebook that's shown on this screen. So you can see how many modules your students have completed, what their quiz grades are in each module, and how much time they've spent on the course. And on this page, I know I'm kind of going through a lot of the material quickly here, but I want to just give you a sense of how the major pieces of this work. But once you have the class set up and the students are going through it, this is just to give you an idea of what things look like from the student end. So I just wanted to show you kind of a snippet of what the course looks like for students. You can actually go through and preview the curriculum as the teacher ahead of time if you want to go through everything. But I just wanted to give you one preview of one of the videos that we have. Each module starts with an introductory video, and this is one from the student loan module. So I just wanted to play this briefly for you all.
Student loans might have already entered the equation for you if you're younger, or you might be dealing with paying yours off if you're older. They're often one of the first major borrowing events in a person's life. While one of the best uses of credit is to use it to pay for your education or for training that will help you get a higher paying job, it's also important to be aware of the dangers and challenges associated with this type of borrowing. Higher education is expensive, and costs keep going up at a very high rate. This is making it more and more difficult for students to pay for it without borrowing money, meaning that a foundational knowledge about the intricacies of student loans is key to success and making the most out of your decision to leverage credit in this way. In this module, you'll learn about the value and cost of higher education, as well as different sources of student financial aid and the differences between them. You'll also learn how to apply for federal student aid and about grants or non-loans that are widely available, the ins and outs of subsidized and non-subsidized federal student loans, repayment requirements for federal student loans, and private student loans.
So that was kind of a quick run through of setting up a MoneySKILL account, and I encourage you to check it out. There's no commitment to signing up, and hopefully many people for teaching personal finance. I'll share my contact information shortly and open it up to questions. But But I wanted to, just before I move into that, I wanted to highlight a few other resources that we make available to MoneySKILL instructors. The first one is I feel like it's such a fantastic resource, and we try to promote it as much as we can. We feel like people are always surprised that it exists when they find out about it. But we have, for all MoneySKILL instructors, let me see if I can actually go back here a second. If you actually look on this main page here on the left-hand menu, there is a resources section. And in that resources section, we have a teaching guide for MoneySKILL instructors with over 300 free digital personal finance resources that are all vetted. They're organized to supplement all of the MoneySKILL content if you have a need for more material. So if you're looking for classroom activities, homework assignments, articles, calculators, essay prompts, it includes so much, and it is really a thorough, fantastic resource if you're looking for additional materials to support the delivery of MoneySKILL. We have additional curated lists of personal finance videos that are relevant to MoneySKILL topics. And then on our website, we have a bunch more free education brochures and worksheets. So I definitely encourage you to check that out. So I guess the other thing too, I wanted to quickly note before I wrap up, I don't have it as a note here, but MoneySKILL also includes a reality check simulation, which is kind of like a gamified activity for students to go through and get a sense of their financial futures, how much it'll cost, what kind of salary they'll need to support their lifestyle goals. So there's some other resources as well within MoneySKILL. But anyways, I'm gonna kind of wrap it up there and see if anybody has any questions. It's gonna take me a second to take a look at the chat. Oh, okay, I see some people may be seeing a blurry slide, so I will make sure I have sent a version of the slide deck out. So in case for any reason you couldn't read anything, I think there will be another version available for you to download later. How do we share this? I got one question that is, how do we share this information with other teachers so they can create accounts for their classes? AFSAEF.org. Anybody can visit, register. If you're a teacher, an educator of any kind, they are welcome to register for a MoneySKILL instructor account. Scrolling through some of the other questions. One of them is, how do we schedule an AFSA-EF Zoom visit to introduce MoneySKILL to our center? And I will actually move to the contact information slide. My email, this is info@moneyskill.org. That email goes directly to me. So feel free to send me an email, and I'm happy to set up a virtual demonstration for other colleagues of yours. Is there any other questions? I'm just looking at the text questions here. I see some folks have raised their hands. But definitely just type in your questions if you have any. And if we don't get to it today, my email is on the screen, so feel free to reach out. I think that is all the questions for now. So I don't know, Bethel, if you have, okay, it looks like you put up the poll.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Olivia. Thank you everyone for joining. If you could take the poll before you leave, and if you guys have any questions, you can reach out to Olivia. If you forget or did not write down her email address, you can always reach out to me at info@coib.org. With any questions, you will receive a recording link as well as the slide deck. We also post it to our website as well, and you will receive a certificate for joining us today. You'll receive that 24 hours after the live webinar ends. So tomorrow afternoon, you should receive that. So, but thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Olivia.
All right, thank you.